Posted by you/RaisingJack? I cannot, for the life of me, figure out why I feel this way, but all of my spidey senses are tingling about this woman. Here's a bit of the background. I, 40F, have an elderly mom, 70F, who has been ill for quite some time and is now on hospice. She was living in an independent living facility where all the residents were elderly people in apartment-style units. She had been living there for about 6 or 7 months and had made a few casual elderly friends but mostly kept to herself, or so I thought. A couple of weeks ago, my boys and I were visiting my mom. We live right down the street and visit often, when a woman approached us with my mom. I extended my hand to introduce myself to the woman, but she dismissed the handshake, went in for a hug instead and said, "Oh, I only do hugs for family, and we're pretty much family." Okay, a little weird coming from someone I had never met before and had never even heard my mom mention, but I brushed it off, thinking she was probably just really lonely or something. I asked my mom about this new friend, and she just said they met at the senior living place and that she's been a really good friend to her. Great, I love when my mom has friends, it's important to have them. But this woman keeps giving me weird vibes, and I can't pinpoint why. A few things seem odd to me. 1. My mom is moving to a more traditional apartment complex this weekend, and this new friend liked the new complex so much that she decided to move there as well. Her apartment isn't ready yet, but she'll be moving to the same complex as my mom next month. 2. She apparently bought my mom's dog and I have the world's best Andy sweatshirt for Christmas. They had known each other for maybe 2 months at that point. 3. She called the other day, I'm not entirely sure why, but I guess it was to give me her phone number and more formally introduce herself to me. She talked about doing a lot of caretaking for my mom, saying things like, "Oh, I can manage her medications for her if you want." I replied that while I appreciated the offer, there are a lot of controlled medications involved, and hospice prefers to keep the number of people managing them to a minimum. I also mentioned that taking on caretaking responsibilities for a friend can be exhausting, so it might be better for her to focus on just being a friend rather than wearing herself out trying to take care of her. She immediately went to my mom and made it sound like I was badmouthing her, saying things like how I think she's an exhausting person, etc. When I confronted the new friend about twisting our private conversation, she lied and said my mom had grabbed her phone and read everything in the text messages, even though it had been a phone conversation, not through text. When I pointed out there were no texts, she stumbled over her words, and I dropped it because I knew it wasn't going to get anywhere. And 4. Every time I talk to my mom on the phone, I can hear this woman in the background, telling her what to say or adding comments. None of it is outwardly concerning, but it feels like I can't have a conversation with just my mom anymore. Now, I'm a very trusting person who generally tries to see the best in people, and while this woman hasn't given me any concrete reasons to doubt her intentions, in fact, she's been very friendly and polite in all of our interactions, I still can't shake the feeling that something is off. I sat my mom down yesterday and had a conversation with her about my feelings toward this new friend. She didn't get defensive at all but disagreed with me, saying that her new friend is just being kind by offering to help since she knows my mom isn't the most organized person and could use the assistance. I begged my mom to please be cautious, to take the friendship slowly, and to keep it strictly as a friendship, letting me and her actual family handle the caretaking responsibilities. Despite there being no changes in her medications, my mom has been more confused lately. She seems to me like she's over-medicated, but I only give her 1 dose at a time, and the rest is locked up, so that's not the issue. Just to be safe, though, since she's been more confused, I took her credit and debit cards to ensure no one can take advantage of her financially. Reddit, please help me figure out what this woman could possibly have to gain by coming between my mom and me if it's not about medication or money. I'm not sure how to do a background check or if it's even legal for just anyone to do. I did look this new friend up on a couple of websites, and all I found was that she has several also known as names, but nothing else. I'm willing to pay for a background check if anyone can recommend a good service. We're in California. Does any of this raise red flags for anyone else, or am I just being too overprotective of my mom? Oh, I almost forgot. I called one of my mom's oldest and closest friends the other day and asked if she had met this new friend and what her impression was. She said, "Honestly, I don't know why I feel like this, but I just get a bad feeling about her. I feel like she's up to no good." Hearing this made me feel a bit better, knowing I'm not the only one picking up on something, but now I'm even more unsure about what, if anything, I should do about it. Update 1 month 2 weeks later. Thank you so much for all the responses and heartfelt advice. I'm really sorry I've been MIA for so long after my original post, but it's been a lot to process. I needed to take some time to absorb everything and deal with the curveballs life has been throwing my way. Right after I posted last, I went to talk to my mom again. I explained my concerns, and she agreed to let me put 2 cameras in her apartment. On moving day, I stepped out for a few minutes to take my kids back to the house, and while I was out, I logged into the camera app to test the settings. That's when I overheard my mom and the friend talking about me. It wasn't very nice, and it really felt like the friend was deliberately trying to drive a wedge between us. My mom, unfortunately, was playing right into it. The friend, I'll just call her Fran to make it easier, was gone when I got back to the apartment, but I ended up having an argument with my mom. I was crying, telling her how hurtful it was to hear my own mother participating in a negative conversation about me after everything I do and have done for her. She cried, I cried, it was awful. But in the end, I at least convinced her that Fran was up to no good. Mom agreed to create some distance between her and Fran, and she immediately told Fran that her behavior toward me was unacceptable, and all talk concerning me was off limits. Fran seemed to understand and blamed her behavior on a flimsy excuse that I didn't buy for a second. Everything was calm for about a week, until one morning I called my mom to check in, only to find out she was out running errands with Fran. When I pressed for more information, I discovered that Fran had taken my mom to the bank so she could obtain a new debit card. Fran was fully aware that I had taken my mom's debit card, with my mom's blessing, because my mom had been experiencing increased confusion and wasn't aware of who or what she was spending money on, but she had forgotten she had given me her previous card. That was the final straw for me. That night, I sent Fran the following text message: "Hi Fran, Mom told me about you both going to the bank today to get a new card, and I just wanted to let you know that I'm aware of it. I know my mom appreciates your friendship, but I do not appreciate you getting involved in matters that are none of your business. Mom and I have her finances under control between the two of us, and we do not need any assistance getting things squared away, no matter how well-meaning your intentions may be. She's asked me to take her new card again and has made me the main account holder, so I can ensure she has access to what she needs, but no one else does. I want to believe you're coming from a sincere place of wanting to help, but it greatly complicates friendships when you get involved in financial matters. I handle all of my mom's finances and medical issues, and that system works for us. While my mom deeply appreciates your friendship, she does not need a caretaker. I've got that covered. If you sincerely want to be her friend, you need to take several steps back and reconsider how you're coming across to me. From my perspective, it looks like you're coming dangerously close to crossing the line into elder abuse, and I'm sure you wouldn't want me to involve the authorities. However, that is exactly what will happen if things continue down this path." Fran responded with some BS reply along the lines of, "Oh my word, I would never take advantage of anyone, and I just wanted to help your mom, blah blah blah. Oh, and I think you and I have gotten off on the wrong foot, which is my fault, but I'd like to start over, blah blah blah," and more bullcrap that I got sick of listening to. I never responded to Fran after that, and, shockingly, she hasn't really reached out to my mom since. I believe she's supposed to move into the apartment complex this weekend, though, so we'll see if she pops back up out of the woodwork. I think she understands that I see through her attempts to come between my mom and me and that she'll need to focus her efforts to scam someone else. I notified my mom's hospice nurses and her social worker as well. I also bought a really cool medication dispenser. I won't name it because I'm not trying to promote anything, but feel free to reach out if anyone needs help managing medications for family members. It's expensive and probably cost prohibitive for a lot of people, but it has been a game changer for me in keeping my mom's medication safe and organized. The dispenser is locked and syncs with an app, so I get notified every time it dispenses a medication. This made me feel much better about Fran not having any access to my mom's prescriptions, but the trip to the bank showed me exactly what Fran was after. I also notified the bank that if Fran is with my mom, they are to contact me immediately. All in all, I think most of you were right. Fran was using my mom for money, or at least trying to. Luckily, I caught it before much damage was done. I believe I've made my position clear to Fran, which is likely why she's staying away. However, I think I still need to contact the independent living facility about my concerns with her because, I swear I'm not making this up, my mom says that Fran is going to be working there after she moves in. I definitely don't want her in a position to take advantage of anyone else. Thank you again to everyone who replied and reached out to me with resources and advice. I read every single reply, and I even shared several with my mom. It really helped her see Fran for who she truly is. Second update 7 months later. Thank you to everyone who keeps checking in with me, asking how my mom is doing and if there are any updates. My mom is still on hospice and doing okay, all things considered. She has her good and bad days, but she has been mostly lucid lately, and I'm grateful for that. Fran has been mostly MIA, thank goodness, ever since I told her, in no uncertain terms, to beat it. The only time I've heard from her was when my mom's phone wasn't working. Fran left a message asking if my mom was okay, but I left her unread. This tells me my mom hasn't completely cut Fran out, even though she says she has. However, with my mom's blessing, I've taken control of any avenue Fran could use to take advantage of her. I've alerted the hospice nurses and the social worker, and I let Fran know I had done so as well. Thankfully, my mom has also made some better friends who live nearby and help keep an eye on her for me. I didn't go to the police, as I didn't feel I had enough grounds for a case, but I made it clear to Fran that I wouldn't hesitate to do so if given a reason. If Fran comes back around or gives me any reason for concern, I'll update you all. But for now, my mom is safe. I handle all her medications and finances, so no one can weasel their way in and take anything from her. Thank you again to everyone for your care and concern.